I just want to go ahead and go over what I just documented right now. I am referencing on video.
Engaging in what is obsessive and demonic, highly demonic stalking. This is group stalking. This is presence in the path. So in a helicopter, they are doing this back and forth, tracking my every move as I'm walking around on the property. And you also know, you're recognizing what is demonic activity, the demonic method of targeting someone, while the demon-possessed population want to create what is the system that's designed to falsely depict the targeted individual as suffering from some mental incapacity. And so that's what you're understanding is malice. And you're recognizing the fact that the entity is stalking and while maintaining presence in the path while the light source is directly above you. And that's what you'll see. The still images of...
So what I'm referencing is seconds ago. Remember, this is the demonic environment where the entity is engaging in the demonic imitation of the natural environment. I am in an apartment where I'm looking at the sunrise and the sunset through the same apartment windows. Again, let's look at big picture. Never is the sun documented never is the sun, the natural environment that is, going to be seen rising outside of the living room window of my apartment and then seen setting outside of the bedroom window of my apartment while the entity places a light source directly over building 1818 in a diagonal view of what is my apartment. I'm looking, this is literally the presence, and this is the long documented pattern of conduct. The entity keeps the light source over me from the beginning of the day, rising it on one side of my person and setting it on the opposite side of my person. All right, that's what the entity is doing. This is me. This is the rise all day long, the light source, and that's the setting. And that's the pattern of conduct where the demon-possessed population is keeping you under surveillance. When I am referencing, and this is speaking to the P.O.C., everybody living at this property is going to federal prison. All right, engaging in this level of criminal facilitation of that government that's keeping you under surveillance, which is a threat to your life, your liberty, all of your personal property being stolen by the government, exercising color of authority. The entity has engaged in all of this while abusing the positions that they are in to harass you and also to silence you and obstruct justice. This is the entity that's engaging in what is stalking in a helicopter. That's the LAPD. And they're doing so literally for the third time on video. Every time I make a move on the property, the entity is appearing, that is visibly and or audibly, to communicate a threat. And it's also engagement in the elements of monitoring. And what I'm referencing with regard to seconds ago, I just finished taking these pictures of the light source, and you can see what was very vivid seconds prior. The moment I start capturing this video, the light source that's above my head immediately disappears. So let's look at the timestamp. I'm capturing this at 11:36 in the morning. This is the people of the state that know I'm documenting. I'm capturing this video at 11:36 and 27 seconds. The light source is directly over my head at 11:36 and 16 seconds. This is a matter of seconds, okay? This is the light source that's hovering directly above me. This is while I'm in front of building 1810, building 1812, all right, showing you my shadow. And this is the light source that's remaining above me as I'm walking on the property. And again, this is as I start documenting video, immediately that light source, that light is gone. And that's 11 minutes, 36 seconds, 11 minutes and 36. 11:36 and 27 seconds, And then you have what is the entity that's maintaining that. So big picture. So I am at what is building 1810. Building 1812, taking the light sources over me as I continue walking, the light sources over me as I walked in front of my apartment. The entities, as I'm walking here, the entity starts sounding helicopter activity. I capture video, the light source, the light activity of that light source that's hovering above me as I'm walking on the property immediately disappears. The engineer light is still present. Understand that. That's an act of terrorism while the entity is engaging in what is light activity, communicating a threat, engaging in what is stalking in a helicopter in relevant position, engaging in what is demonic pacing back and forth in the helicopter while the light source is directly over my head, which under no circumstances is going to be the sun, which is what I'm referencing in the documentation, March 22nd, 2022, which again, when you're referencing the documentation that I'm already sharing with regard to what's on the Google Drive, on this day, on March 22nd, 2022, the same time of year, the entity is maintaining a light source directly over me and doing so while I am on public transportation heading to what is, 11, where am I at 11? I'm on Route 61 going back to toward Fontana, California. One moment, please. That's the people of the state that know that I'm documenting them. So this is 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the bus already at this time of year in 2022, and I'm showing you the light source on Holt Avenue in Pomona. That's the light source directly above me while I'm on the bus, okay? In motion, okay? And you have it arriving above my head while I'm facing building 1810. Building 1810, how can I help you? I'll be right with you. This is building 1810, building 1812. This is where the light source is hovering above me in front of at this apartment complex located at 1800 North Alvarado Street. And on this day, what is at 11, I'm on public transportation heading back toward the city of Fontana, leaving Pomona, and you have the light source remaining directly over me. This is what you're paying attention to. This is during daylight savings time. It is during the same time of year. I'm still capturing right now. It's 11:49, 11:36. That is James Jung who's monitoring. The entity knows exactly what I'm documenting. I'm still on Route 61 on this day. Excuse me. I'm still on Route 61 on March 22nd, 2022. I am not in LA. I am nowhere near Alvarado Gardens. I'm on Route 61, which is going eastbound on Holt Boulevard.
That's called stalking with audible activity.
And the light source is remaining over me for the entirety of that route.
Remember, this is the Ontario Airport.
11:36. It's 11:50 a.m. as I stood outside seconds ago. Again, this is the significance of what I'm documenting for you. This is the significance of what you're witnessing. While I'm standing in front of Building 1810 at 11:35 and 56 seconds, this is the light source that's directly above my head, and I show you what is my shadow that's directly above me. Okay? That is never going to be the natural environment. In addition to that, hold on. In addition to that, while the entity is keeping what is a subdued light source today, the evidence is already present. It's already captured of the entity keeping its fake sun in all of its brilliance from the beginning to the end of the day. And this is what Satan was doing before it anticipated all of this evidence that I'm going to use to prosecute the state of California. All right. The entity is keeping the light source over me, by the way, at this time. This is the Ontario International Airport, a state facilitating venue where the people of the state are engaging in surveillance using airplanes, every single last airline, engaging in federal group stalking monitoring. And I also want to point out to you, the TSA, the federal government, they're also inside of that building. They're monitoring, engaged in federal stalking. There is no respect of persons. It's not different. This is the maintenance of the environment. This is speaking to a vast system. This is not possibly the sun remaining stationary, rising and setting at the address at the address at the property of Alvarado Gardens here, out the living room window in the morning and out my bedroom window in the evening, while I'm showing you what I've already documented the same time of year during daylight savings time, just on another random day where you've got the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department engaging in what is the demonic behavioral pattern, group stalking with the people of the state. And this is captured at the 9 o'clock hour, just so that you can be reminded about what was the demonic pattern of conduct. They're pacing out. This is one after another after another. They already know that I'm coming. This is what the demons do. This is called demonic pacing. The car is a method of pacing. They're walking and driving in opposite directions under the light source and in engineered light, which is also all over the building of the cafe at 101 South Main Street. The light source is hovering directly above me.
Don't have any form.
On the shadow underneath that's covering on the building is engineered light all over underneath the shadow. While the demons of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department are opening and closing their doors, engineered light is moving across the building. This is exactly what you see demons such as Universal Waste engaging in. These demons are in position, group stalking on video.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
While I'm walking by them, this is called the crossing of path. All I have to do is walk. They could sit inside the cafe and engage in the crossing of path conduct. They come out to engage in the demonic pacing. By demonic pacing, I mean one after another crossing path as I'm walking toward the cafe. Under the light sources over me in Pomona, it's never going to be over Alvarado Gardens at any time of day where it is rising and setting at this property. That's P.O.C. All right, so that's the significance of what I just documented right now. That's what I wanted you to see. The entity is keeping the light source over me as I'm walking from the apartment 1810 and 1812. The people of the state that live at this property are group stalking the entire property. And this is speaking to, again, what it is that when you are providing that level of criminal facilitation to the state, who was captured on video, again, tracking my every move on the property and arriving to both engage in the criminal elements of monitoring, which is demonic activity, which is, again, America's version of terrorism, because America, I'll leave it to California. The state of California's government, the state, is practicing demonic activity, and this is criminal surveillance. It's a crime. All right, the state's not exercising any religious right. Keeping American citizens under surveillance is demonic activity, what the government is practicing, and every element of the pattern of conduct is demonic at its core. All right, all of the methods of group stalking are demonic. All of the behavioral patterns that they engage in are demonic. Okay, and the ongoing malice that you're exhibiting, keeping your back to somebody and you're stalking them. All of the environment is the evidence against that. Okay, I don't need you to look at me, Satan. I don't need you to focus and admit anything. You can ask me questions all you want. It's audible activity, and that's understanding what is the demonic as well. It is currently 11:54 a.m. This is P.O.C.